I damn sure ain't from the left.
That wasn't an insult, man.
No, I know what you meant.
Just that one time. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Ducks Unlimited. We got birds on the skies, too. Specklebelly showing up. It's that time of year.
It is. It is. They're here.
I am Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver, and with us today, probably the most famous diver duck hunter, or sea duck hunter in America, Mr. Jeff Coats. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, and you're way too kind. Thank you very much.
We're excited to have you back.
Thank you. It's been a while.
It has. It's been a little bit. I got to fix Jeff's camera real quick. He gets
Take your time.
he gets all out of focus. No,
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to go? So,
I'll adjust.
you got your new place built? Are you finished yet? Moved in yet? Or are you still a little ways away?
So we have a CO, so it means we can legally live here. But is it completed? No. But I don't want to incriminate myself and or Karen and say how long we've been living here, but we are here legally now. So we're good.
I don't understand all the big city rules you people have to go through. The guys at Pacific went through hell over a damn bathroom that was a quarter inch. The sink was a quarter inch too low or too high to meet, what's it called, handicap standards. So you can't just move into a building when you want to where you live at. You have to be told that you can live in it now.
Well, it's a county. The county regulates the permit to build the building. So it's more of, I guess, whatever we said that we wanted to build, that I guess ultimately they're going to check in and make sure that Assessments was here the other day and actually took a tape measure and measured the building. Even though we had a certified civil engineer or the surveyor's plans that we needed to have that to sign off for the county to give the CO. Somebody from the state rolled by and actually measured it too. But I guess it's, in our case, we had to have a fire system. So the sprinklers, smoke detectors, all that type of thing. More of, I guess, if you want to call it safety type thing. I had to pass a blower door test to make sure that it was efficient enough to their guidelines and jump through a lot of hoops.
What's a blower door test?
The blower door test, the main door of the house, they actually put like a big exhaust fan. And it has a meter on it, and the rest of the house needs to be airtight, if you will, and had to be below 1,000 CFM's leakage of air actually being sucked into the house. So the fan's pulling the air out through the front of the door, and where any holes might be, doors, windows, through the attic, all those type of things, and so that was one of the requirements of blower door.
It's amazing.
Never heard of that.
It just fucking amazes me. When you live in a blue state and all the regulations, or a blue city, all the bullshit, what the hell does it matter if your freaking window leaks or something? That's on you and the contractor. I mean, do you see where I'm coming from? Well, what a waste of fucking money and time.
But just going back to that, it is energy efficient. That I guess, if you want to say, saves us money and or natural resources. Possibly.
But if it costs anybody extra money, it's costing you. It's your house.
Agreed. 100%.
It just blows my mind. And it's not just a blue state deal. You go to Austin, Texas, it's the same shit. All big towns. They've got these code enforcement officers, and I understand making people keep their yard cleaned up, because I cannot stand a yard that's got cars parked in it and junk and wears me the fuck out.
Whoa.
Hey, that's what we moved away from. This is so we can have 22 boats.
Well, I don't have a problem with you and your place doing that, but I'm talking about in a regular residential neighborhood. People,
yes.
If your stuff's clean, I don't care if you have a boat next to your house. If you keep your stuff mowed and cleaned and look nice, But it's ridiculous the shit that they make you pay extra for in a big city. Like if I want to put a garage, I don't have to because we live in Knox City. We don't have all that shit. But if I want to put me a barn in my backyard and build me a barn, you go to Wichita Falls or Abilene, you got to get a code enforcement and inspector. It costs you all this extra money to improve your place.
Well, and time.
Yeah, it's just we just let these fuckers and politicians and these city bureaucrats ruin what's made. You live in the country, don't you?
You just said you were all for enforcing people keeping their
I
yard
wish
mowed.
people would keep their yards mowed. I do.
So now, I mean, that's somebody's got to have a job to with a tape measure to measure your grass being too tall. So you're talking out of both sides of your mouth here.
Okay, well, I keep my shit up. Some of my neighbors don't, and that makes me mad. But I live in a small town, and you can't regulate that, and I understand that.
You were mayor for 20 years. You should have passed something if you hate it that much.
A small town can't afford an enforcement officer. Anyways, Jeff, back to y'all.
Yeah,
you live in the country, don't you?
My mom lives with us, and she would describe this as the boondocks. I don't agree with her, but that's what she.
That's good living if you live in the Northeast.
100%. We do feel fortunate to be here. To rewind just a little bit, so this is zoned A1. It's an agricultural piece of property, but in Worcester County, Maryland. If it was 5 acres or more, there was nothing on here, no buildings, no structures. If it was 5 acres or more, we literally could have just put a barn up because it was zoned A1. Because it was less than 5 acres, 3.5 acres, we had to have living space. So that's we were just going to finish off an office and call that the living space so we could have the shop. And then it kind of snowballed a little bit, and we're living here, so it's all good.
Can you pee in the backyard? Because that's when you're in paradise, when you can just pee in your backyard.
I've shot a 9mm in my driveway a couple of years ago because there was somebody sitting out there that I wasn't really happy with.
Oh, really? Intruder. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he said, my dream is to move off somewhere and I can shoot my rifle in any direction and not have to worry about it hitting somebody. He said, that will be paradise for me.
North Dakota's got a lot of land for sale.
Jeff, to answer your question about 1 a.m., I did do that. Stepped out, moonlit. I like that.
Yeah, I pee in my backyard all the time, and I live in town, but I still pee in my backyard. I got a privacy fence, and they'd have to have some really good binoculars to see anything anyway, so it really don't matter to me, but that's life. So when do you start hunting? About 4 weeks away?
October 14th. So not tomorrow, but a week from
tomorrow. And the Dirty Duck Boys are going to be up there the week of the Waterfowl Festival.
Right after the Eastern Waterfowl Festival. So 13th, 14th of November, something like that.
At one time, I thought I was going to make it up with them, but there's no way I can get away in November.
It's a busy time of season for a lot of people.
It's when everybody kicks off, basically.
Yeah. Well, that weekend also is the second split of the Maryland duck season also. Way back in the day when the goose population was better, Canada goose, that was kind of the kickoff of Canada goose season, the whole Eastern Waterfowl Festival.
Now,
that was?
When do y'all go up? You go to Prince Edward Island here pretty quick, don't you?
We are. So we do a week, since there is no more special sea duck season in the Atlantic Flyway, whenever duck season is open, in whatever state you're in, that's when you can target sea ducks. So we have a week of October, the 14th to the 22nd, and as soon as I feel halfway recharged, early on the 23rd, we're headed north.
What a life!
Stay up there just in time to come back to the Easton show.
So you're leaving up there the 23rd
to head north, yes.
And then that you said you'll come back in time for the Easton show.
Yeah, so leave on that Wednesday, so we Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday to get here is Thursday, so we can get over there Friday, Saturday.
Has anybody? What's the outlook for the Easton show going to be like? Are they expecting a big turnout?
It should be good, man. Ever since the year with COVID, it's come back with a vengeance. And man, last year on Saturday, that was probably the busiest. The Sportsman's Midway, where everybody's kind of set up outdoors and the tents are set up. It was very, very busy. So it's just the last couple of years, it's definitely been gaining popularity again and growing.
Is it always the second weekend in November, or is there sometimes where it's the first weekend?
That's always that second week. And again, historically, it was kind of when ducks and Canada goose opened at the same time. Current day, because of the shortage or the reduced season on Canada geese, it's just duck season. But yeah, it's always been that second weekend.
Right.
At least as long as I can remember. Yeah. That's 23, 25 years ago. So
I understand why they did back in the day, but it sure be nice today if we got most of this stuff out before October, before things get really busy.
You can't do that. I totally disagree with you, especially with this one. Like, going up there that time of year, I think there's something hallowed about it.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was a 4-bird limit for 75 days, and that was the kickoff to, things have changed, but Eastern Shore of Maryland back in the day, it was a self-proclaimed goose capital of the world, so it's not today, but back in the day it was,
Yeah, when I first got into business in the 90s, that was our big competition for when we either had to compete against South Texas, and once guys came up here and shot small Canada geese, they didn't want to go back and lay in the mud and the muck to shoot snow geese. Or you went to Maryland and shot big geese.
Yep.
And that was the big thing.
Things weren't developed like they are today, and there was kind of that upper Eastern Shore from the Bay Bridge north, or really from Easton, a little bit south of the Bay Bridge, Easton up. I'll correct myself one more time. You go down to Cambridge, Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge, and head north, really that whole Eastern Shore, just a lot of agriculture farmland, and there were a lot of geese, enough that it was a 4-bird limit for 75 days.
The Eastern Shore, Maryland is one of the prettiest places I've ever been in my entire life. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It reminds me of the South, plantation homes, big farms, and then you leave there and you go across the freaking bridge right into Africa where it's just a shithole and a half when you get to Baltimore.
It's that 95 corridor, man. It's all there. D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, It just, as you head north, that 95 corridor is a different world for sure.
Yes, the Eastern Shore is beautiful. And I was also really impressed with New Jersey. You get between Cape May going north and Atlantic City even, and you get back in the countryside there. That's a beautiful place because I always thought of New Jersey as just being a ghetto of New York City. And then when I went there, and it was always called the Garden State, well, now I understand it is a beautiful place also.
Yeah, especially at the Cape May County, the southern tip of New Jersey. Yes. There. I mean, we're just outside, 15 minutes away from Ocean City, Maryland. But as a child, we always went to a little 3-block boardwalk, Sea Isle City, and it was just kind of like you turn back the clock, and it was a super cool place. I have great memories of there, and even today, if you come down like to Wildwood and Cape May, still a heavy Victorian flair, and it's not, I won't say it's wild, but it's definitely not like northern Jersey.
Cape May is one of the coolest towns architectural wise I've ever been to in my life. They put a lot of pride and money into that, and you could tell that was the hub of New York City to get away back in the day. Was if you had a whole lot of money, you went to Newport, Rhode Island. Well, that was for the upper 1%ers. Everybody else that had made good livings and stuff, they had homes at Cape May, and you could tell what a cool place.
Yep, cool ferry runs across from Cape May to Lewis, Delaware, which again we're not that far from, and it's a cool day trip for nothing. At the very least, it's a cool day trip for us. That's
a neat place. So are you booked up for the year on all your hunts?
I got Christmas Day open if anybody wants to go.
You're going to hunt Christmas Day.
Karen, will you allow me to hunt Christmas Day?
Yes.
She says yes.
we are shut down from December 23rd till December 27th. I do it every year, and we shut down a couple of days at New Year's. But I get a guy every year that calls me, and I won't hunt him on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and he just doesn't get it. And I'm like, listen, that's our family time. I don't want to hunt. So good for you if you want to hunt. There'll be somebody call you that wants to hunt then.
I hope so. I'd be happy to take them. It's just that kind of thing where, like, I really am like the one-man show. I only take one party a morning, so the season's only 60 days now. So a day really matters to the bottom line, shall we say?
Yes, exactly right. I don't blame you at all for that.
Is ours 90 days? Like, have we ever got to the bottom of it?
I think it's 107 days. I think.
Way back, the special sea duck season was 107 days. Regardless of what duck season was, the sea duck season was 107 days. So that was, I did experience that quite a bit. The beginning of those October days, usually up in the first Saturday of October, so you needed to get to mid-October for it to be good. So that first bunch of days were kind of throwaways. But right. So there was a good 90 days in there that you definitely could hunt sea ducks. Except for Sunday, you could hunt sea ducks every day.
That's how it was here a long time ago. Now we have our calendar speckle bellies, but I remember 20 years ago, like the first week, 10 days, if you didn't have an October cold front, and like when we were shooting a lot of Canadas, there might not be a couple thousand birds here, but now we always have the same amount of speckle bellies that, regardless of the weather. Like they're here now, and we've only had one little north wind.
They showed up yesterday, and I had 4 different people text me within 5 minutes that they saw specks in different places, so I knew it wasn't just the same little flock of specks.
But I always, I can remember a long time ago, it would be opening weekend, and it'd be like, eesh. like, this might not be good. But now it's like, it's going to be fine.
And we used to run through the middle of February too. I remember back when I first started,
Valentine's Day.
We'd hunt February. The latest I remember was February 18th. That is entirely too freaking long to be shooting in the hunting business. That's way them 107 days. Day 100 is a hard day.
Agreed. Here, once you get past the 31st of January, then they turn into the conservation season for snow geese. But that's pretty much it.
Do you dabble with that any?
I have not in years. I always tell people I can definitely date myself. You know how old I am. When I first shot snow geese, the regular limit was 4 birds.
Wow.
And our Canada goose season was closed in the Atlantic Flyway. The AP Canada goose season was closed in the Atlantic Flyway. So that would have been like in the late 80s. But yeah, the first time I ever really, and that was the only goose you could shoot for snow geese, and it was very easy to get permission because nobody was shooting Canada geese.
Right.
But yeah, that was a long time ago.
Now the Eastern Shore, they shoot a lot. They do a lot of released duck hunts there, don't they?
RSA birds, regulated shooting areas. So some of them are set up that you can just, when duck season is open, as long as it's got a clip toe or a clip toe and a band on it, doesn't matter. It doesn't count towards your limit. And there's other farms that are set up that you can shoot basically released birds, and you can shoot them into March.
And when's the season start on them?
I believe I'm not an expert on the RSA, but I'm going to tell you like September. Well, if you're set up to tower shoot, I believe it's September 1st to like March 15th, something like that.
See, we can do release.
Go ahead.
We do release bird hunts here, but we just do pheasants, and we can hunt them year round. But it's too hot. We don't do them we do them November through January. When Dad was still alive, we would do some October hunts, and I would do some February hunts. But I send my guides home, so when duck season ends, 28th of January, we shut everything down. But I knew that they had done. I've always kind of been intrigued with the released duck shooting deal because I can see where guys would enjoy it as much as they do shooting pheasants, and it would be a pretty easy thing to do. From what I've seen, they put them in a garage somewhere, and they built the ones I've seen. They had a garage with a pull-up door on it, and the ducks would go in there and land and stay there all night, and they'd open the door up, and they'd take them out and take them a mile away and let them go. Is that how they do it up there too?
Again, it depends on the way the farm is set up, because if you just want to release the birds during regular duck season, as long as they stay on your property, obviously you can shoot those. Your property has to be registered, and you don't have to shoot your birds. If it happened to be somebody else's released bird that you shot, again, it wouldn't count towards your limit. But yeah, I've been on some sophisticated running dogs. I've been on some sophisticated RSA shoots with ducks where the guys looked like they were hunting. You mean nice pit blinds. They were down inside and back in the woods, maybe 90 feet up in the air. They're releasing mallard left and right. And kind of the rule was once the birds were straight up and back, they couldn't shoot them. So they had to shoot them, getting to them and then going up. They couldn't shoot back to us, but they always could shoot up and towards forward. And I've been on some of them that they would release 600 mallard for 6 guys. And there was, for the dogs, man, I'd run the black labs back in the day. They just went crazy because there was plenty of birds for them to pick up.
What a fun deal. I wonder if they retire any birds. I remember when my dad trained dogs, he'd have pigeons. Yeah. And if a pigeon survived 3 training trips, he retired and never have to do it again.
That was it.
So if they could
release it into the wild or what?
He'd just stay them in the coop. They'd fly around and stuff. Oh. But he'd trap them and he'd put a band on. If they were 3 times, they got retired.
That was it.
Yeah, if you could survive 3 times of training, you got retired, didn't have to go again. So I wonder if they retire any ducks. You made it past the blind 3 times, you're good.
Well, the ducks are free to go. They're not recalling these birds, right? So once the mallard released, they're gone. And they would do the same thing with pheasant and chuckers, and then tower shoot them, and then in the afternoon they come back and do like kind of more like an upland. Anything that wasn't dead that did get released, they'd walk the fields and basically shoot them like they were hunting them wild, if you will.
Yeah. It's interesting, snow goose hunting. Nobody ever really thinks of the Atlantic Flyway as having good snow goose hunts, but I've seen videos, and I mean, the fields are just chock full of snows that time of year in the spring.
Yeah, so they're greater snow geese, and they'll say on the Delmarva. So you have the Chesapeake Bay, the Delaware Bay, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. That peninsula on the Delmarva, there's over 1 million wintering snow geese here, moving around all that time. There's some north and some south, but the general population of the greater snow geese on the East Coast basically winter on the Delmarva.
Yeah, I should rephrase. I'm not a big snow goose hunter, so when I think of conservation season, I don't think of going northeast of here. I always think of Missouri and kind of that kind of that area. But so I should rephrase. Snow goose hunters probably know about this place, but to me, I just never think of it as a snow goose mecca.
Yeah. I tell people Maryland it's not the best state for ducks, but it has a very good variety. And there's guys that will go on public land, private land, they shoot their limit. But to me, you always have a good chance at a great variety of birds.
Right. Yeah. Like getting a good mixed bag.
Yes.
What's the black duck situation there this year?
I'm going to say that it's a 2-bird limit for 45 days out of the 60.
Right. And have we heard anything? Have they had a good spring and summer?
That I've not heard of. No, I mean there's plenty of local birds, but just like we're going to go up to PEI, those guys there would tell you that that's the real black duck. And I can tell you in their 6-bird limit, you can shoot 6 black ducks up there. So it's black ducks, geese, and they'll shoot some mallard too. But everybody wants to shoot black ducks there and Canada geese.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a decent population of local birds, and we will get some that migrate too.
We recently had on a Dr. Philip Lavretsky from University of Texas at El Paso. But anyway, he studies mallard genetics, and he was just talking. We had him on. I can't remember the exact numbers, but if you trace back the mallard genetics of mallards on the East Coast, I think 90 to 95% of them have pen-raised bird genetics in them.
Well, I was just going to say too, with Jeff was talking about the RSA birds. If you go on U.S. Fish and Wildlife, there actually is a classification of the eastern mallard, which basically kind of is that bird. If you want to go back and look, it's kind of funny too. If you go back to Havre de Grace, the old gun clubs that they would call, it was really mallard. Black duck weren't that popular, but they would call them a black mallard when they were shot. If you go through the listings of what was shot that day, they described the black duck as a black mallard, not a black duck.
Not a black duck?
They would call it a black mallard.
So I wonder when it got the name black duck, or when people started calling it that.
That I'm not sure. But I do know, like at the late 1800s into 1900s, if you go back through and look at the daily kill for what got shot in these clubs, they described there's mallards, and then there was a black mallard. So I assume that's a black duck.
Yeah. Boy, that would be cool to read some of those old hunt club logbooks. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wish I could get my hand on some of those.
What? I had to step out for just a second. What did you? What's the weirdest thing you saw on there? Was there any Labrador ducks or anything on there? Because I don't remember when they went extinct, but it was in the 1800s, wasn't it?
Supposedly on Long Island, 1845, the last one was shot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of goofy. I still like to think maybe there's one out there flying around, but
there's going to be again. It sounds like they found a way to bring them back. They're going to clone, and they're bringing back the black duck.
The Labrador duck.
The Labrador duck. I'm sorry, the Labrador duck. What was the other one? It was some kind of hen. It was called
is it red-breasted?
No, that don't sound right.
I have passenger pigeon.
No, yeah, that is one of them
they're
too.
Gonna do that.
Passenger pigeon, the Labrador
the
duck,
heath hen, the heath hen,
and the heath hen.
Okay.
But I guess they've got. It's the same guy that I was talking about, Philip Ravetsky. He's working with a company. So there's 2 companies that are bringing stuff back. One company is focused on bringing back the woolly mammoth. They figured out a way to inseminate a elephant, and she will give birth to a woolly mammoth, I think, in 2024. And then, it's Labrador duck, heath hen, and passenger pigeon. They found out a way to bring them all back.
Well, to my knowledge, there are actually still 8 Labrador ducks, taxidermy birds that are in existence.
Right.
And I think 2 of those are at the Smithsonian. I've always kind of wanted to get down there to see them and just never get there, but I think it'd be cool to see them.
Jeff does not believe the narrative that we shot out the passenger pigeon. He just cannot wrap his head. 3 to 5 billion passenger pigeons when the early Americans got here.
There's no way.
1700s.
There's no way. You could take the passenger pigeon and put every one of those birds in southern Louisiana, and you could tell those coon asses they taste great and they're illegal, and they couldn't shoot all of them. There's no way. There's no possible way that we killed. Disease had to hit.
That was going to be my explanation, like some type of avian influenza, something like that.
There's no possible way, because people back then did not have people did not hunt for sport then. They hunted to feed their families. They did not have enough money to shoot, to have ammo all the time. I've read books from like Davy Crockett when he was a son. He got 1 bullet a day to go out and shoot something because that's all they could afford. So they weren't going to just go give them 1,000 rounds to just go blow to shoot these freaking birds. So I don't believe it. I think that there was some kind of disease that wiped them out besides us shooting them.
But what about like a punt gun? Because like
they don't raft up on water.
There's got to be a way you can bring it into the field, though, right?
Well, you shoot one tree. I don't think. But what's the reason for doing that? There wasn't that the population. Everybody had been eating passenger pigeon for years and years and years.
I don't know, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're talking.
Well, I guess it would just like be going to Argentina, right?
Right.
All those, the volume dove shoots, and there's still evidently still plenty of dove there. And how many are they shooting at during the season down there, right?
That is a great analogy too, because the population in Argentina, where most of the people are doing the hunting, is out in the countryside. So these birds were out in the countryside from North Dakota to West Texas. Well, from North Dakota to West Texas in the late 1800s, there wasn't a whole lot of population. So I'm sticking to that, and I'll go to my grave thinking that there was more than just us shooting them. Like the buffaloes, we shot the shit out of the buffaloes because they were shipping them overseas, and they did it all the time. They were shipping the hides. They were not the buffalo. They're shipping the hides and stuff everywhere, and that's why they shot all them damn buffalo. But they used trains, and it was just a whole lot. There wasn't as many. There was a lot more passenger pigeons than were buffalo.
1 billion's a lot.
That's a shitload of birds.
Much less 3.5.
Yeah. Well, how many mallards are there right now in the world?
I'd have to
10 million.
Karen left her. I'd have her Google it.
I can Google it.
Andy's Googling. I'm gonna say 10 million birds, maybe, and I'm guessing. I don't have a clue.
19 million.
19 million
19?
Is an estimate.
Okay, so that 19 million is 20.
That's global, too.
Right.
So I could look up North America.
Well, it would be 150 times that many passenger pigeons.
I don't know, Jeff.
Sorry.
I don't know. This says there are 34.2 million breeding. No, that's ducks. That's total ducks.
How many total ducks are there, though?
It says 34.2 million breeding ducks.
So 35 million ducks, 100 times that many is what we would have of passenger pigeons. Just one species. So, no, we did not wipe them out by hunting. There had to be some kind of disease. Something happened.
You can believe that.
Well, I believe it.
You go ahead.
It's my hypothetical or a hypothesis is on that educated guess, and I'm educated on that, and that's a guess. So, did you shoot any weird shit last year? I ask you this every time we have you on here.
Nah, the only thing I can you can't shoot them. The only thing that, and I think I said the same bird, was that razor-billed auk. That's really the only thing kind of daying it out. We have not really seen the last two eider that we shot were actually immature Drake Kings. So that was, but we haven't really seen that much. Let me rewind. It has not been cold. We have not had winter, so we haven't really seen many other of the oddities. Once it gets cold north of us, you do see quite a few. Way back in the Sandy hurricane, I can't remember how many years ago that was, but that razor-billed auk, they were in flocks and flocks and flocks. So that storm got them messed up and sent them south. But it's always been the draw to me, whether it was on the Chesapeake Bay or the ocean or wherever. On open water gunning, you just never know. Sea duck hunting, diver duck hunting, open water, you never know what you're going to see.
I don't like the term global warming or something, but we are definitely in a warm cycle right now. And it's been that way for a long time. And you're noticing it up on the East Coast even.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, it's been, we get that quick little spike that maybe it will go down for a night or two that's a single digit, and then it goes right back up into the 30s. It just has not been cold.
Our weather, like even in we've had a hot dove season. The hottest 2 days I remember ever. We shot one day we hunted, it was 113, and another day it was 110. I don't ever remember us. I remember us being 101, 102, 103, but never in the 110s ever during dove season. And like we'll cool off. We were in the 50s today, and I think this morning, and I think it's supposed to be in the 40s even Saturday morning here. But I think on Monday or Tuesday we're supposed to be back to 90 degrees again. And that cool off. We just cannot take that dive and start going down, it seems like. And then when winter gets here, you never, like you say, you get the cold days for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and you don't ever get that second push right behind it to keep it going.
Yep. Or it's after duck season.
Yeah.
Yeah. February into March. If we're going to get snow or it's going to be halfway cold, we get it basically after duck season.
When you grew up, did y'all have winters where it was winter like from Thanksgiving on?
Yeah, I can remember some like heavy snows, especially with school, like through the 70s and 80s. Getting days off that it would call it the blizzard. These big snowstorms, and even though it is a big difference here on the Eastern Shore to where, let's say, up towards Havre de Grace on the Western Shore, there's an elevation difference and there is a temperature difference. But yeah, we just even there, like there's still don't have the snow like they used to.
Yeah, I read a deal not long ago that the cold weather, the lack of cold weather, is hurting the lobster fishermen.
Okay.
And I guess they want to stay in colder water. I don't know shit about lobster fishing, but they said the cold weather was affecting it.
We've been going to PEI that late October and November, 6 or 7 years now, and the very first year up, we had a little bit of like sheet ice on puddles in the morning and a little bit of snow. And other than that, I mean, we often fight mosquitoes up there because it's not cold,
Right.
What? How long ago was it that you went to Canada and got kicked out and all that shit happened?
That was 2012.
2012, and it snowed on you up there.
No, I didn't get to Canada. You said the year.
Okay, the year that you didn't get kicked out.
13.
And it snowed then up there.
Well, a little bit.
Not a lot, but it snowed. Right. I looked at the weather up there, and we were at Carrot River, which is way north of Quill Lake, 2 or 3 hours, and it's still 60s and 50s right now. And when we went up there, it was getting into freezing and cold and snowed a couple of days. No heavy snow, but snow flurries and stuff. And you just don't get that no more.
I would say my first time up to PEI would have been December of 11. And we did have snow and it was cold then, that kind of thing. And there was a couple of years too, in New Brunswick, they had a special sea duck season in February. So maybe like 2000, 2008, 2009 in there. It was cold. We got snow there, but that was kind of after regular duck season too. That was into February.
You mentioned lobster catching. A lady in Maine. She's now the oldest lobster harvester in the world. 103 years old. She just caught her lobster yesterday.
Good for her. Good for her.
She's been catching lobsters for 95 years.
She has had to see some change.
95 years.
That's crazy.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, good for her, like you said, though.
Can you imagine the boat she was on when she was 8 years old doing that?
Oh, my goodness. The technology now.
That's what I'm saying. She's got to have seen some changes there, right?
I wonder, because you know how waterfowl hunters are. Anytime anything new comes on, you bitch a little bit about it, and then you start adapting to it. Like, I can remember when OnX first came out, and like now, everybody uses OnX pretty much. But like she had to like buck some of the technology, and now she probably like doesn't even think twice about using it.
Like a winch on a boat.
Yeah. I ain't using that shit. I ain't putting that on my boat.
You know, it's kind of funny that I wonder if she looks at. I get depressed when I see what's going on in the world right now, from just the way socially, morally, the way our country is. It really bothers me, and I'm 55. And when you look back through history, Andy says, well, things weren't as good in your lifetime growing up as you thought they were in the 70s, and they probably weren't. But it's depressing to me to see the crap that we go through, from the transgender, all the shit we go through. It just blows my mind. Well, somebody like her, really the world has really, really changed since she's been gone. But I wonder if all the good that we have in the world overcomes with all the shit that she has to see. Because she grew up in a time when there was a lot of shit going on just socially. It was a tough life back then.
Yeah, it probably wasn't easy for her to be a woman on a lobster boat.
No, not at all. And that's what I'm saying. I wonder if she thinks things saying how great life is now, or if it depresses her the way the world's going right now. Because she's got 50 years on me.
Yeah.
I had a great aunt that was born in 1900, and she lived in 1993. And like I've always said to many people, like, man, in her lifetime, the changes that she saw from not having electricity, really not having plumbing, to going through the Great Depression, to at the end of her life, in the infancy of it, but there was the internet when she passed away. So, no TV, black and white TV, color TV, shooting rockets into space, all that kind of stuff. That was that her 93 years. There were some major changes in our civilization for sure.
I remember I had a black and white TV when I was a kid. I remember when we got our first color TV. I remember the first time I had a phone that didn't have a cord on it.
Karen sitting to my left, she's from Australia. I always like to tell her, I remember when ESPN came on in 1980, The only thing they played was Australian rules football nonstop. That was all you saw.
That and college baseball and tractor pulls.
Yep.
And you know what? ESPN was better then than it is now. Other than some football every once in a while, which I don't watch much ESPN other than football anyways. But what a world we've lived in that's different. My grandfather died at 99 years and 10 months. And in 1986 or 87, we went to see him. And he'd been retired already for 15 years, I think. And he was retired from General Motors twice as long as he worked for him, I think. But anyways, he told me, I asked him one time about getting a VCR. I said, Grandpa, where's y'all's VCR at? He goes, we ain't got no damn VCR. He goes, I'm too old to learn how to fix this new modern stuff. Well, shit, he outlived the VCR, the DVD, and everything else, but wasn't about to change. But he was 60-something years old then, or 70. You know, hell, he didn't have wasn't even thinking about new technology. That's crazy when you say. It's funny to me when I see someone that's old, like 80, 85, using a cell phone. Mm-hmm. You know.
Hey, speaking of Karen, I just saw that video you posted about her with her shooting.
Oh, she loves to
I
shoot.
would not piss her off.
She's laughing.
It looks like she could castrate a gnat at 60 paces.
She hadn't shot in a year. We were members there, and we would go pretty much usually every Sunday. And just with doing this the last year, you know, we canceled membership just because. And her niece was up. Her niece came over in May. She worked at a summer camp in North Carolina, went to Florida, went to Mexico, Florida, and kind of making her way back to Canada. So she stopped in, and like she's never even held a gun before, so it was kind of a big time for her to, you know, shoot a 9mm handgun, and we had an AR, and you know, I think she had a good time. But yeah, Karen, she always can outshoot me for sure.
Now, did she grow up in Australia?
You did, right?
I did.
Till she was what year did you come over?
97.
97. So she's been here ever since 97. She's a dual citizen now. But yeah, we go back. We try to go back every 2 years, and the time to go back would have been spring of 2020 in that time frame. So we have not been back since. Well, but it's definitely high on her list to get back.
Does she like living somewhere where she ain't got to worry about something biting her that's going to kill her everywhere she goes?
Well, she'll say the mosquitoes tear her up here, but and she actually had her first bout with chiggers the other day.
Ooh.
Never seen them, and they found her. But yeah, she does say like pretty much anything over there that crawls on the ground and can kill you, and or the magpies attack you from the sky, or if you want to watch something funny, get on there, YouTube, wherever, and Google magpie. The kids have on bicycles. They have helmets like have spikes on them because the magpies come and try to whack them.
I've seen them do that. I did not realize that was a magpie. So that's what it is.
Right? Magpie? Oh, yeah, magpie. Yep.
So even the birds over there are vicious.
They could be, yes.
I hate snakes, and there's no way I could live in Australia. All them the deadliest shit in the world, everything on the deadly list. They ought to have a list. This is a deadly list for the world, and then we have one without Australia, because everything on the main world list is all in Australia.
You're probably thinking of that like people think of Texas, like a rattlesnake is under every corner.
Yes, that's what I think it happens in Australia. It's a known fact. There's a brown snake everywhere you look. In everybody's yard, they have one, and they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
Got a big old thing called a cane toad. They're like dogs. Dogs eat those things. The cane toad's very poisonous. They're big.
Cane toad?
Oh yeah,
a cane toad. Yep.
Ooh, that's a vicious looking critter. Dogs eat them?
Well,
they do once.
Does it?
Yeah, exactly. They do one time.
Oh, and they're poisonous whenever they eat them? These things are huge.
Yeah, she said the dog's pretty much 100% deadly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has neurotoxins.
Neurotoxins, I'm told.
A lady is holding one, and that thing's bigger than a football.
Mm-hmm.
They got spiders over there.
I saw one. It was maybe about the size of a softball. That's the only one. The really only one I saw. So seen being over there.
There was a time where Australia was on my list, but that's way too long on an airplane. There's no way. That's like what, 16-hour flight, 20-hour flight.
So Dallas Fort Worth to Sydney is 17 and a half hours.
Yeah, that's way. I'm out on that.
Ooh.
You lose the day going over.
Yeah.
On the way back, we leave Wednesday at 3 p.m. from Sydney. Fly 16 and a half hours, and in Dallas, it's Wednesday at 3:30 p.m.
I don't want to have to poop on a plane, and there's no way I can go 17 hours without taking a poop. I'd have to eat a block of cheese before I get on a plane.
Plug you up with
Oh,
Imodium.
I'm telling you, there's no way.
You would have to figure like long flights like that. Like it's got to be a little bit more. It can't just be a regular plane, is it?
Well, yeah, with a little bathroom.
We do. Qantas has the Airbus, the 310. So it's basically it is a true double decker.
Yeah.
We have to fly in the cheap seats, but it's the window and 3 seats, an aisle, 4 seats, an aisle, and 3 seats, and you truly don't feel like you're flying.
Right.
Like it's yes, you feel the takeoff, but once you get up in the air, man, it's like it is a pretty smooth ride for 17 and a half hours.
That's the same basic plane we flew on to Puerto Rico, except it wasn't double decker. My deal is the bathrooms in them suckers are made for skinny people. It's just like amusement parks. Everyone's made for a 150-pound ass. And my 150-pound ass don't fit 150 pounds. I don't want to have to take a shitter in one of those things. There's no way. I want to know how these people have sex in them. I see all the time people having sex on a plane. There ain't a damn bathroom big enough for me to have sex in.
It's not big enough just for you to be by yourself. And
no, hell no, I can't imagine adding someone else into the mixture in there.
Bring somebody else.
There's no way.
Well, my savior is I may like to drink a little bit of alcohol. So on Qantas, alcohol's free.
Yeah.
But I'll tell somebody you drink and you watch 5 movies and you're like, are we there yet? And you're like, nope, still got 8 hours to go.
Oh, man, that would be hold. Oh. Yeah, like if I could afford to fly, like, what's the
Emirates?
Yeah, boy, I tell you, their first class flights, they got a private bed, they got their own shower in there, they got a big toilet in there, and it's cost you $15,000 to fly
For a 4-hour flight.
or however long it will. They got some pretty long flights.
No, I
too.
know that they do, but
Yes, but that's a long flight, and that's why I will probably never go to Australia or New Zealand, as I just couldn't do the flight. It would just kill me.
can you hunt there in Australia?
So north is south, south is north there, right? So when you go southeast, the southeast corner, yes, they do have some duck hunting there.
Did you ever do that when you were over there?
Actually, we would like to do New Zealand.
You do New Zealand, not in Australia?
Yeah. We the further south. So Karen grew up in Kingscliff, New South Wales, which is right on the Queensland, New South Wales state line. Kind of like, if you will, central East Coast. We fly into Sydney, so that's like a good 8 hours south drive. A good 8 hours south of where she's at, and then just north of her Surfer's Paradise. Kind of. I've never been to Hawaii, but they tell me that's kind of what Hawaii looks like. But no, New Zealand's kind of been on our bucket list to check that out, and or to shoot some geese, shoot some ducks.
Yeah, I know they burn them up in New Zealand, but I didn't know about Australia, if it had anything, or if it was a hunting
just the
culture.
gun regulations are kind of tough, and but yeah, it would be the southeast corner. Help me, love. What's the state?
Queensland?
Yes. No, where Melbourne is.
Oh, Victoria.
Victoria. The state of Victoria is where you can duck hunt.
So who was the prisoner in her family history? Because that's all Australia was for a long time.
She just kind of shook her head and said that. She don't know. She might tell you that I am currently.
Yeah, we didn't, but
That was a penal colony, wasn't it?
I think in its early days.
Ain't that where it started out as?
She said all convicts.
Yeah, all convicts. Were they from? They were from England, I guess.
Anywhere that the English rule was, which was basically the whole world. If you got in trouble anywhere in the world, England sent you to Australia.
Could you imagine? Like, you're so bad, we're gonna ship you to a place, and everything can kill you there. Good luck. Good luck figuring it out.
Are the Aborigines, are they involved now in just regular society everywhere, or are they still bush people?
They still have like the bush.
They still have the bush camps. Like for my, what I've been there 4 times. Like I've not. Maybe a handful I've seen. So yeah, no, it's not. I've not seen them.
They're not integrated into society. Then they're still basically do their own thing.
Yeah, they integrate.
No, she said they're integrated. She says you need to be north and or west. That's where, like Perth. So Perth will be on the west coast. I don't know what's on the north. Central, north, central, west is kind of. It's almost more like that desert. My desert aromatic. Aromatic, is that the right word I'm using? Oh, she's laughing at me.
The outback.
But anyway, we were talking about this the other day. So Australia is a continent, and it's a country, and the population is basically the population of New York City. This population of California, what was it, 38 million? California's 38 million people. The population, excuse me.
You're good.
The population. There we go. The population of Australia is 26 million, and it's a continent, and everybody is just right like within 50 kilometers of the shoreline. If you nobody really is inland. Everybody like. I won't say they live on the water, but they're very close to the coast.
Okay, right. As a dumb guy from Texas, did you say 15 kilometers?
50.
50. Is that like 30 miles or is that 150 miles?
22. 22 miles or so.
No, I don't know shit about kilometers. That's why you lost me there.
5K is 3.2 miles. 5K is 3.2 miles. And so my math's good. So that means 30 miles. Right?
100 kilometers is basically 60 miles.
Okay, so 30 miles away. I don't know crap about kilometers, millimeters, centimeters. I have trouble with liters even.
Jeff, weren't we taught that in school that the U.S. was going to go to the metric system?
Yeah, they still hadn't done it yet. And that was a long time ago when I was in school. I would like to take a ruler or a tape measure to a high school today and a class of 25 seniors and have them show me where a 1/4 inch is, a 3/8 of an inch is on a ruler or a tape measure. I'm going to bet you there ain't 2 kids out of a class that knows how to do that shit anymore.
We were talking that in calculators too. Like you had to learn all this math and stuff, and like you just get your phone out. Yeah. And what do you need to know all this stuff?
Yeah, my math teacher said I wouldn't have a calculator in my pocket. Mm-hmm. Boy, weren't you wrong?
Nothing stays the same. Everything changes.
Another funny thing too is to watch these young kids try to make change. Mm-hmm. I mean, if their life depended on it, and you gave them $1 and it was 79 cents, and they had to give you back 21 cents, if they could not push a button back, them fuckers could not figure out how to do that, and that's sad.
One of my first jobs at a gas station had a pocket full of coins in one pocket. You had your roll in the other, and you count backwards. $17.95 out of 20. Here's 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, it's simple, and they don't confuse the shit. And then if it's like your bill's $20.26, and you give them $21.26 to get $1 back, they're just all fucking up in arms. Huh? Yeah, you owe me $1.
Here's a good story. And it's not, I don't have $2 bills because maybe why you think I have $2 bills, but I like $2 bills. And I went in our convenience store, Wawa, that we like to get coffee from, and I handed a young, I would say 18-year-old $2 bill, and he took it, looked at it, and like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, I can't take this. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't take this. And somebody went and got the manager. He's like, I apologize. He's never seen a $2 bill before. He's like, but it was just funny. Like I handed it to him, like he thought, like I was messing with him, like it's fake or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like it's money.
American
He's like,
currency.
No, it's not. But it was a $2 bill.
Why do you like to carry a $2 bill?
Well, first off, if you get $2 bills, generally from the bank, they're sequential because they really haven't been in circulation. So if you go, I'll say, hey, I want to get $100 in $2 bills. And they're brand new bills are sequential, but I have not traveled much recently, but I think it's cool to hand out $2 bills as tips.
Oh,
like you go to bags, here's $2 instead of $1, here's $2. And or somebody goes like, wow, like this is like it's worth $20 to them or something, right? Because they've never seen a $2 bill.
Why did they take
the place?
Why'd they take them out of circulation? Because you don't see them much anymore. Because I've got a couple in a money bag that I've saved that I've gotten over the years just to give my grandkids because they've never seen one before. Yep. But I'm going to go to my bank next time I go to the bank. I'm going to see if they got $2 bills and get some. Tony always gets.
Generally, they'll order them for you. Is what I find. I say, hey, can you give me some? Yep, we'll get them. It may take a week, but then they all of a sudden, they call me and say, hey, we got them. So I think it's just cool to have.
Tony gets silver dollars all the time, which they're not real silver no more, but that's his. He'll get $100 and he saves silver dollars all the time. But $2 bills, I haven't. You don't ever see them in circulation hardly at all anymore. But I remember when they first came out. But I don't know the reason that they did a $2 bill, and I don't know the reason why they took them out.
You know what? I can't tell you who's on the $2 bill.
Thomas Jefferson, I think.
Or was it Adams?
I was going to say that maybe Jefferson. I would have to guess that.
You think it's Adams?
I'll have to look.
Andy's going to have to look it up. I think it's Thomas Jefferson. On the back of it, I think it's the Continental Congress is on the back of it.
Okay, I'll go with that.
It's Jefferson.
It's Jefferson. What's on the back? The Continental Congress?
The signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Okay. I knew it was something historic, which was at Continental Congress, I think. But
I just always think they're cool.
Yeah.
Cool things to have a couple with you. And like I said, it kind of strikes up a conversation, if nothing else.
There's $1 million bill also.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. I've never had one of them some bitches, but I'm pretty sure.
$1 million bill.
I think there's $1 million bill and $100,000 bill. I know there's a $10,000 bill too. Look them up. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've never seen
there was a $500 bill.
There is a $500 bill too. Yeah.
That I do know.
Dollar denominations.
when we're at
500,000,
Kingscliff,
5,000, 10,000.
Is 10,000 the biggest one then?
Yeah.
Okay. I was off on the million.
All still legal tender and may still be in circulation.
You take a $10,000 bill into fucking Walmart and you want to see what'll happen to them.
Get change for that. Who's on the $10,000 bill?
Donald Trump. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
No. I was going to say Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be. Like, nobody's ever seen it. Who is on the $10,000 bill?
Well, we could have saved a whole lot of money when Obama gave all that freaking money to Iran and Iraq if he'd just sent them $10,000 bills, and a whole lot less than sending them hundreds. Freight would have been
sent a trash bag full of tens.
Yeah,
it's been done.
Yep, freight would have been a lot less on it.
Salmon Chase.
I don't even know who that is. Chase Bank, I guess.
He was Abraham Lincoln's Treasury Secretary.
Oh, so probably the one that came up with the $10,000 bill. So what did do y'all dove hunt on the East Coast at all?
We do. It's kind of a big deal. You know, September 1st. It's kind of the afternoon tradition. It's more about going at lunchtime and having a big spread, eat, and then as the sun goes down in the afternoon, go out and shoot them. But it's really like the first couple days, and then I mean, there's hardcore dove hunters, but it's that kind of more of the tradition of it kicks off. You know, early goose in the morning, maybe somewhere, Canada goose, local geese, and then midday on, you go try to find a party to go to shoot dove. So there's guys still here that they'll plant sunflowers, spray them, kill them, go through, mow them. It is the first couple of days. It is a big deal.
I wondered about that because dove season's huge here. We just had a corporate group leave, and I've got another corporate group coming in tonight, and then we basically finish up dove season until the last weekend. First weekend of duck season is October 28th, and we've got duck hunts, dove hunts in. But other than that, we're pretty. This is about it for us. Do y'all have Eurasian dove up there also?
No, I was just going to ask you what is your dove? What is your pigeon? Dove, excuse me. Yes, what is your?
We
dove?
shoot morning doves, but we shoot a lot of white wings now, and we also
that was it, white,
and we have the Eurasians here. But we didn't have we used to have a few white wings probably 15 years ago, but in the last 10 years we've started killing lots of white wings. This year we didn't kill as many white. If you hunt around town, you kill white wings. If you get away from town 5 miles, you're shooting mourning doves still. But around all the towns, there's just tons of white wings, and they've come up from the Valley of Texas and from Mexico, and they're here year round now. They've really adapted.
A couple years back, the Texas teal around El Campo in September, it was the white wings. That was the bird. We're shooting in the afternoon. I guess we do not have those here. It's just a morning.
They're probably going to make it up there because we were talking with Dr. Phil and them today about the Mexican tree duck or the fulvous whistling truck. It's got 15 names for it, but we used to not have them here at all, and we've got them nesting here now, and a lot of deer leases around here because they eat the corn. They go to the feeders. They fly. You'll have a deer feeder go off, and there'll be 20 whistling ducks come in there, and they're very adaptive. So I'll bet you that before long they'll make its way up to the northeast. Do y'all have the Eurasian dove, the collared dove there too? They're a nuisance bird here.
I've not seen them. Like I said, just more to me. 99% because I'm sure there's some oddity here and there, but 99% morning dove.
The Eurasian dove, we picked them up about 10 or 15 years ago too, and they come out of I think Sanibel, Florida. A rich guy had a house there, and he released a dozen of them on his place, and they breed about 3 times a year, and they move 8 miles a year. It's how big their circle is, and they just kind of spread out. And now we have them all the time, and they're more like a pigeon than they are a dove, but they don't count towards our limits.
Interesting. Speaking about stuff moving around, and I don't know what the story is with it, but a friend of mine called me 2 days ago saying, "Hey man, can you make me a flamingo decoy?" I'm like, "Did you see one?" He's like, "Yeah." He says, "I just saw one walking in a field."
Where was he at? Louisiana or Florida?
I'm sorry, what was
that?
Was
he in Louisiana or Florida?
Maryland.
No what? Shit, had to just got out of a zoo or something.
Well, that's what I was like. Who knows how it's there? But I thought he was messing with it. He's like, "Nah, man." He's like, I literally just saw a pink flamingo walking in a field.
They're at, I think Mexico, I think there's some in southern Louisiana at some places, and maybe Florida. I know around Cancun on the Yucatan Peninsula, there's a bunch of them. I've never seen one in the wild. Have you?
So
I would think of Florida. If you said flamingo, I'd think of Florida.
So my dumb question is could you shoot it?
Well, fuck no.
No?
What would you shoot it for?
You know what I always say?
I mean, is there not a season? I mean, there's not a season.
I don't know why you'd want to shoot one, like shooting a blue heron.
I bet somebody shoots flamingos.
Well, if you're hungry enough, you would. So what, Jeff, what you're saying?
Shoot what you can afford.
Shoot what you can afford.
That's exactly right. I bet you the fine on shooting a flamingos. I don't know why anybody want to shoot a flamingo anyways.
I bet they taste shrimpy because they say that's why they turn pink, right? All the shrimp that they eat turns their feathers pink.
Never have heard that.
That I do not.
Or it might not be shrimp, but whatever
seafood that they have.
Yeah, it's got a dye in it, and then it leaches out.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I'm not going to argue with you for sure, but
I think, yeah, it's from their food. Carotenoids give carrots their orange color and turn ripe tomatoes red. They're also found in microscopic algae that brine shrimp eat. As a flamingo dines on algae and brine shrimp, body metabolizes the pigment and turns their feathers pink.
See if there's native to the United States anywhere.
Okay, I'll try. Hey, I got a bourbon question for you. Recently, you posted a bottle of Willet bourbon. Is that your favorite? Well, what's your favorite bourbon, and where does that stack up? Because I've seen that at our local liquor store a couple times, and I always pass it up.
Well, it was given to us as a gift, and I have not opened it yet. It's a 175, and I figure when I open it, I don't like letting something sit. Not like wine, I mean, when we open it, it's got to get used. We recently just listed the old house on Pintail, and the realtor brought that by the other day for us. He saw it, thought it was cool, and was thinking of us on it. So, Greg Steen, thank you very much. Price point, if price didn't matter, I think I would tell you that Weller Antique would be my favorite go-to. But to drink neat, Weller Antique.
Weller Antique?
Yes. It's distilled Buffalo Trace. I don't know. Occasionally we'll buy a bottle of Pappy, and I don't know that I could tell you the difference between Pappy and Weller.
Really? And it's the one with the red label? Is that what I'm looking at? Weller Antique 107?
Yes. I definitely can tell you the price difference between Pappy, a bottle of Pappy, and a bottle of Weller. Yeah. But like an inexpensive neat would be Heaven's Door straight bourbon whiskey.
You're good.
Sorry about it.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yep. I would say like a lower price point, Heaven's Door straight bourbon whiskey.
I've never heard of Heaven. Wait a second. Heaven's Door. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, on wooden cork, Weller Antique is $140 ish. So,
yeah, I think like at Buffalo Trace, I think it's like a $70 bottle.
Oh, really?
As it leaves, obviously it kind of changes hands and gets more expensive. Cheers right here in Berlin. Chris gets it around the holidays, and it's anywhere from like all the Weller would be anywhere from like $150 to $300 probably. Just depends on what it is.
Oh, I had somebody give me some of this Heaven's Door. Which one did you say your favorite was? Is it straight? Because they got straight, rye, and
the straight bourbon whiskey.
Just the straight. I'll be damned.
Neat, man. I could sit down and that tastes to my tongue. That tastes really good.
See, I gotta have ice with my whiskey. So neat is a little hot. We were.
Are you?
I like Buffalo Trace.
That's Karen's favorite. That would be her favorite. Just to drink neat.
Yeah.
Your ice. Are you an ice connoisseur?
No.
I have to go. Once this is all done behind us, we will have reverse osmosis water that supposedly the LG freezer that we got will make a 2-inch clear, 100% clear ice ball. So we don't have that hooked up yet, but that's in the future. But I go and buy my ice because I like IPIA ice.
IPIA ice.
Yeah, it's a ice certification. It's ice food.
What?
Google it.
So it's frozen water that's certified.
IPA ice.
IPIA.
What's it taste like?
It's Karen ice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just frozen water.
But it's pure. It's ice food. It's a certification. I have to have IPIA ice to drink my Crown Royal Blend.
I used to give my accountant every year a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue.
Yeah.
And he would not want to put ice in it because it diluted the taste of it.
I don't know that much about it, so.
Well, that's why I would not like Weller. Any bourbon like the Wellet, I am going to drink that neat. The only thing I'd put ice in would be Crown Black. Karen drinks everything
with ice or everything neat.
No, I said when we're doing Crown Black, she's drinking Crown Black neat, so she likes.
If I'm drinking Pappy, I want to put Coca-Cola on it. I am not that big a drinker, anyways, but I want bourbon and Coke. I do not want, and so I would never order that because if someone offered me that, I'd be like, yeah, I'd throw a splash of Coke in it or something, and that would be a big time faux pas.
We had we had some people hunting here, and we did a blind taste test. It was Pappy and Maker's Mark, and Jeff and I both had COVID at the time, lost our taste and smell, and I still don't know what it tasted like.
No.
And I felt bad when they were pouring it because I was like, this is an expensive little pour right here that I'm not going to be able to take.
You could throw some Kentucky Deluxe in there and wouldn't have known the difference.
So a very good friend of ours who is a farmer just north of us in Delaware, he lives on Bush Light. The farmers, the John Deere can, the corn can, all those. He knows we drink what we drink, right? So one time he stopped by and it was around the holidays, and I said, hey, start him out on a couple of little different things. I said, man, do you want to try some Pappy? He's like, yeah, I do. So I poured him just a little bit. He smelled it. He just went, knocked it back. It's like, oh, you didn't even taste it. What did you? How much that was? He just go, yeah, tastes pretty good to me.
That's the way I would be.
We give him a hard time about that today still, but it was kind of the joke where he just knocked that thing back. He said, "Yep, tastes pretty good to me."
I don't know what's happened. I used to hate bourbon, and like I've grown to where I really, really like it in the evening time.
Yeah, that's all I'll say is in the evening time.
Like I can remember 5 years ago. I mean, we had there's a local bourbon maker in Texas, Garrison Brothers, and like they sent bottles, and I was like, this shit is garbage. Like, why would anybody drink this? But through the years, I mean, I've really gotten to where, like, if we're going out to dinner, like I'll have a whiskey and a steak or whatever. Never thought I'd get there.
Yep. I converted Karen. She was a wine drinker when we first met, and
still enjoy it.
Well, she still enjoys some wine, but she definitely enjoys bourbon.
I'm not a drinker, but I would rather have bourbon than wine.
I could go for some wine too, but bourbon's TX. Have you tried TX?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be something we would seek out. I think, but
y'all probably don't have it up there, do you?
Occasionally we find it.
That's the other thing that's fun about bourbon is like finding like little treasures, and you're like, oh shit.
Yep, walking that store and like, oh my goodness, kind of thing. And like if somebody doesn't really know, like it's at a reasonable price. That bottle of Weller I was talking about at that 150 300. There's another liquor store. They've got it sitting Weller Antique sitting there for $1,200. I'll be like, how long has that been sitting up there? She says a while. And I was like, yeah, I guess it's going to sit up there for a while too.
Continue to sit up there.
Yeah, like, oh my
I'm
goodness.
See if I can find this. Somebody posted a bottle of Weller. I don't know if it was at Weller Antique. I'm going to try to find it real quick. But it was like $70 or something at a local. No, it was Weller 12 for $50 at a gas station.
Well, the green label? Black label. I don't know if we've seen the black. The only one, copy. All right. Yeah.
So,
the only one we don't like is the full proof. It's like 125%. It's like that is a little. I would definitely want some ice with that.
We had some guys here that just left, and I was visiting with them, and they had just come back from France, or Spain or France or somewhere. And they were talking about the wine, the difference in the wine, because there's no preservatives in the wine in Europe. And he said the wine tasted so much better over there than it does here. And I've had other people I know that's been to Europe have told me the same things that aren't wine. One of my buddies is about like me. He doesn't drink much. And him and his wife went with some couples over there, and they went to dinner, and they brought him a bottle of wine. He's like, it's okay. And the waiter insisted. And he goes, shit was good. He said, shit, I drank more wine in those 3 or 4 days I was there than I ever have any time in my life. But said the wine in Europe tastes better. So maybe Karen grew up drinking Australian wine, and maybe it's the same as it is there.
I don't know if Yellowtail
no
counts.
I don't think so. That's
is no preservatives in it.
I think it's half preservatives.
So I'm worried I'm doing my bourbon wrong because you said when you open a bottle, you got to drink it quick.
That's what I've been. Well, not quick, but like if you open the bottle, it does have a shelf life. So you don't. It's not something you want to like open it and let sit. Like you do want to kind of not in one sitting. But I say you need to drink the bottle. But I wouldn't. I in my mind a month's time.
Okay, because I always get like that big thing of Buffalo Trace whenever I can find it. Just because we don't liquor stores around, like we got to go an hour to find any Buffalo Trace, so I always get the big one to last. But I guess I got to step up my bourbon drinking.
You might have to do that, or you could buy 2 little bottles.
Yeah, I could do that
instead of one. I don't know. Somebody can correct me. Maybe that's false, but that's what I've been told is like it does. You don't want to let it sit.
What about cigars? Do you like cigars with your bourbon?
No,
not a cigar smoker.
No, we've the joke is Karen's son was hanging out with us for the weekend here, and like to this day I've never smoked a cigarette. Never ever. And I think 3 times we tried cigars for my birthday 2 years ago. Hey, let's go. Let's send you a cigar in Ocean City. We went. We had somebody tell us exactly the ones we want. We came back and we can't handle this. Let's just drink.
I enjoy occasional cigar every once in a while. I don't know what I'm doing in any of this stuff. It's just kind of the ritual of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, getting back to the bourbons, it is kind of cool. Like I said, or like you said, you go out and you find something that, like, wow, I haven't seen that, or it's like at a good price. It hasn't been jacked up through the roof for that. And good example was we were in PEI Canada, Charlottetown, downtown, going through their little bit of a strip mall, or not a mall, but like an indoor mall, and all of a sudden there was a display of Buffalo Trace. Like, oh my goodness, and like had to go get a bottle of Buffalo Trace in Canada, so we could. So our friends, our Canadian friends, could try it, and we're talking up how great it is, and they were like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." They're all beer drinkers, but we made a big deal about Buffalo Trace.
What about Blanton's? Do you buy into the hype of Blanton's being for the price point being so much superior?
We used to partake in Blanton's quite a bit, and then like when the price doubled, we there's other things that we like for that price. Yeah. But no, I think it's a good bourbon for sure. But again, when it was $75 a bottle and not $2.25 a bottle kind of thing, And again, it's like you said about trying to find. Sometimes it's very hard to find.
Yeah, it's impossible to find here. I've seen one bottle of Blanton's out in the wild, and it was $2.25. So I'm good.
There's a really good. I think it was on Netflix.
Yes.
And I think you know what I'm talking. It is called Neat.
Oh, I haven't seen that. No. I was talking about the Buffalo Trace heist.
Well, no. Oh, yeah. We started to watch that. We didn't see it. But Neat. That is if you kind of want to like a video version of the history of bourbon, that's what you should check that out. Neat. NEAT.
NEAT.
After we watched that, that's all Karen did was drink Neat.
Really?
Seriously. Yeah, she's laughing, but that's the truth.
I think a couple things happened because, like, Jeff can remember when bourbon was like nobody drank bourbon.
No,
it was vodka a long time ago, wasn't it?
It was Scotch.
Oh,
Scotch was the big thing, and then vodka become big, and now bourbon is it. And moonshine kind of went through a little deal where moonshine was real big for a while, the different flavored moonshines, and then bourbon. And there'll be something else will come around again.
But they say, like, so I guess Mad Men, I haven't got to see it, but that's all they drank in Mad Men was bourbon. And, like, you can kind of track the bourbon explosion to that. And then Netflix did the documentary on the bourbon heist at Buffalo Trace. So that kind of made Buffalo Trace a novelty and something that people seek out. So I don't know, it's just interesting to see that whenever these things come into the mainstream, everybody starts flocking to it.
Canadian whiskey was real big for a long time because of Crown Royal,
right?
And it has been kind of the standard mark for a good drink is I drink Crown, but then it went to the different bourbons, and I guess Jack Daniel's and Jim Beam's are bourbons, right? They're bourbons, correct? But that was kind of a mainstream bourbon. I don't know what Jack Daniel's sales are, but I would bet Jack Daniel's sales are down in Jim Beam's from what it was in the 70s now, percentage of market shares, because there's so much other stuff out there. It's kind of like wine. When you go through a grocery store, back in the day, wine section wasn't 8 foot wide. Nowadays, there's 3 or 4 aisles just of wine. A lot of drunks in the world right now, I guess.
Might say something about us. About us as a society, right?
Yeah.
To me, like, I wouldn't want to go buy Jack because there's so much other cool stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to go buy that?
So Cheers, we go in there. It's a really nice store. It doesn't look much from outside, but you get inside, it's big, and they have a great selection. And quite often they would say, "Hey, I have something. You want to try something? I got something you want to try." Oh, yeah, I'll try something. Let's check it out. And the one time they just want to know my opinion. So smelled good, drank it. I was like, tastes pretty good. He's like, what price point? What do you think it would be? We've been doing a McKinnon 10-year. I was like, it's probably like along that line of, probably a good, at that time, $45, $50 a bottle. And I said, yeah. I said, it tastes good. Pulls out the bottle. Jim Beam Black, $21. And I'm like, wow. Like I was, and that's what he kind of wanted to see. Like, did it taste cheap? It's like, nah, man, it tastes, until you showed me that, that definitely changed. Well, it didn't change my opinion, but I would have not went and tried Jim Beam Black.
McKinnon is what you said? Henry McKinnon?
Yeah, McKinnon tenure. Yeah, McKinnon.
Okay, I'll have to try
Kennon. K-E.
I'll have to try
K-E.
that if I ever find that.
Yeah.
That looks like a pretty
But that was a really good bottle. Again, like it was like $40, $45, $50 for $7.50, and all of a sudden, at least locally here, like it jumped up in price.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun because you go into these liquor stores and it becomes kind of like an Easter egg hunt for grown-ups.
Yep. I mean, I walk in there, that's where we get our crown, but I always got to check, walk down the aisle to see what he's got, or, he'll set stuff out and around, and it is cool.
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of like that taste,
Yeah. My one of my good friends, he's a tequila drinker. And apparently if you get high-end tequila, like you don't need the chasers or salt or anything like that.
Karen?
I've never, it doesn't do well.
She used to be a tequila drinker.
She did?
Oh my God, no.
Special occasions.
And tequila's kind of popular now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done tequila straight, would not be something I would gravitate.
The other day, I think I'm coming off of COVID, and my wife and I, her birthday's the 24th of September, mine's the 26th, and we always go off and we get a hotel room and we booze it up for the night. And we were sitting around the pool. It was 100 degrees in Texas still at the time, and beer, I really wasn't in the mood for beer. I knew we were going to go out to eat, and I knew beer kind of, fills you up a little bit, and wasn't in the mixed drink mood, and it was too hot for whiskey, so I was like, I'll do a tequila. And I went in there, I got tequila on ice, and just a white tequila, Blanco tequila. Went back out to the pool, and I told my wife, I was like, either this is really good tequila, or I don't have my taste and smell. And she was like, well, let me see. And she put it to her nose, and she was like, no, you are definitely jacked up. That is 100% tequila. I couldn't taste it or smell it.
Do you know that's the number one type of alcohol sold in Texas? Tequila. I just saw it just a couple of days ago. It's the number. But it makes sense because there's so many people here drink margaritas. So many bars have margarita nights, and so I can see that. It didn't say what brand of booze, but it's the number one selling alcohol in Texas.
Huh.
And I was surprised by that.
Well, we got a lot of Mexicans here.
Yeah, we do. So you're making it a racial deal now, huh?
But they like their, it's the drink of their homeland, Jeff.
Of their homeland, mezcal.
Mezcal, yeah.
But we do a lot of tequila. There's a lot of margaritas here, but yeah, tequila is the number one selling alcohol in Texas. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought it would be bourbon.
I'll buy it. One more thing before we let you go, and I don't know how much you want to talk about this. Did you see Maryland's own? The video came out of Josh Neuweiler. I
did. Well, it was brought to my attention more of that he didn't have a guide's license. That was that everybody was, yes, the actions of that, but like I had some close friends like, he didn't have a guide's license. He didn't have a guide's license. I was like, isn't that like you get pulled over for drunk driving and, oh, by the way, your tail light's out?
Right, yeah. He's shooting out of a vehicle.
Like what does it matter if he had a guide's license or not?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? But, I'll listen to your comments about it.
Well, it's just, I just don't know why you would video it.
100%. And if anybody, you guys sort of know me, right? I video everything.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely conscious about what I would definitely show publicly, right?
Yeah. And I don't know
unless
was it a Snapchat or I don't understand how they obtained, because it's an older video, I think.
Yeah, I don't know where it originated from. And or, it was like it was somebody else's. It's not him filming it. Somebody's filming him, right?
Yeah.
Or at least that's the way it appeared to me.
I think you're right.
I don't know him very well. I've met him maybe one time in my life. Following him on social media, pretty much a train wreck all the time. But I think the kid probably is a very good hunter. I know he's a damn good caller, but just has taken some paths that are probably pretty stupid in life, if you ask me. But I think if I was stranded somewhere and I was hungry and I needed to eat, I would have no problem at all wanting him to get me something killed because he's a damn good hunter. But just makes some really bad decisions. But just if you follow him at all, it's just always something going. It's something stealing his crabs, boat broke down, done this. It's something constantly all the time. And I hope he gets his shit straight. I'm assuming he probably isn't going to be able to hunt or fish anymore.
I know he got, 90 days in prison?
Yeah, and I guess his wife had some charge too.
Yeah, I think she was in the middle of it also.
I don't know, but I hope he gets.
In the past couple of years, I've actually kind of had more contact with his son. So yeah, I mean, it's again, it was brought to my attention. The big deal was he didn't have a guide's license, and again, like I think that's just kind of all the add-on stuff when you do something that's egregious. Oh, by the way, your taillight's out. Your whatever. All these other little things are going to get you for everything that they can.
I hope he gets it straight. He's super talented.
I will say this too. I mean,
I hope he gets everything straight. He's super talented, and like Jeff said, he's a certified killer. So I just.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's a world goose calling champion, right? So it's with him through Sean Mann and all those guys way back in the day. There, all revolves around East. And I will say this too, not to defend him, but there is something about snow geese on the Eastern Shore that they are definitely, not that makes it right, they are definitely looked down upon. That I know farmers that they're not videoing it, but that's what they go do, right? They didn't video that. That's what they're doing, but they're going around doing that pretty much to them all the time. So not that it makes it right, but I mean, it is kind of a, agriculturally, it's a common practice.
Right.
Like for sport, I don't know about that, but agriculturally, it is a common practice on the Eastern Shore or on the Delmarva. There's geese in your field, and you want to get them off, you run out there in a truck and you blow them up.
He's one of those guys that social media is not his friend, not just because of this, but just all the time putting stuff out there that there's no reason for you to put your stuff out there. Some things you don't need to put on social media. And one of the things, and it's not just Josh, it's a lot of guys. If you're having issues with another outfitter or a farmer get you run off and you can't do this, the social media is not the go-to place to air your shit all the time. And there's so many guys that do that in this industry, and I do not understand that. It's not a place to go air your laundry all the time. And I think that if Josh got off all of social media, it would probably be the best thing ever happened to him. I think he brings a lot of it on.
I don't want to be a hypocrite in this because if you've been a duck hunter, a goose hunter, a waterfowl hunter, any length of time, there's probably something that's happened that wasn't necessarily by
100%.
Yes.
Sure. So I mean, that's like, and again, I'm like, that's not that makes it right, but shit happens,
exactly.
Right. So, but again, like that's a little.
Yeah. Do you? I'm sure you've had a morning at a boat dock, a boat ramp. Somebody hunted close to you, did something that you just didn't say nothing about. You don't go stick it on social media and make a big thing out of it. There's so many guys that do that, and all you're doing is bringing on a negative all the time. And he was guilty of doing that a lot. He put a lot of stuff on that I wouldn't have put on. I wish him the best. I've only been around him 2 times in my life, and the 2 times I was around him, he was a very nice young man. But he's had some bad things happen, and I'm sure 99% of it he brung on himself. And I hope he gets his shit straight and go down the road. But he is a very talented caller, and he's a really, really good hunter, and he seems to be a good fisherman. But social media is not friends for everybody.
But you're right. Like, if you hunt 7 days a week, like, shit's just going to happen. And it's not that you're intending for it to happen, but it just kind of does. I've been doing this a long time now, and there's been a lot of times you shoot into a flock, and it's like, oh, shit, we just sailed an extra speck or whatever. Stuff happens.
Yeah. And again, man, like, as long as I've done it, I'm sure there's been somebody in my presence on my boat. I would be naive if somebody wasn't checking me out.
Yeah.
The best story I can tell you, and I was told this back in the day, that federal agents travel in pairs. Whether it's true or it's not, I don't know. But that's what I was told. It kind of makes sense. That somebody could break the law, the other could testify.
Right. Yeah, you don't want one guy out there and it be your word against his.
Right. So it was a super good morning. Allegedly a father and a son. They shot their, at the time, 5 sea ducks, Old Squall, Scoter mix. They case their guns, and he whips out this wad of money and says, Jeff, how much to shoot your limit?
Oh.
Like, no, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm like packing. I'm good. I had a good morning. He's like, no. He says, you don't understand. Like, how much do you want? Like, no, I'm good, man. And then he was like, no, you don't understand. And I had to say, no, you don't understand, dude. This is the third time you're making this weird. Yeah. You shot your birds. We're done. You're not shooting my birds, kind of thing. And and he came back a couple different times with a different person, and then he moved on. I never sold a man again.
Each time,
but the next time, like, it was a super flat day. Uh-huh. Old Squall all around us. They're not flying. He's like, let's just ride over there and shoot a couple of those. Like, yeah, nah. It's just like, and maybe, you know what? Maybe he's just a rich guy from Nashville.
Right.
I don't know. But at the same time, like, I don't, it's not. I'm good, man. We had a great morning. We're done. Let's go.
We got a guy that used to hunt with us. It was a single hunter. He was always really weird. And I've looked him up on social media, and his social media is like really nothing there. And I always thought he was probably a Fed. But back in the day, 25 years ago, my game warden come in to see me one time, and he goes, well, he said, I guess y'all passed the test. What are you talking about? He said, the Feds hunted with y'all this year. He said, y'all did everything right. I said, well, that's good. I said, if you could give him a message, tell him, I said, come back every year because I can use the money. So, we're going to try our best, but we're going to do what we can to do everything right. But I'm sure we have screwed up before. But they've hunted. If you hunt a lot, but some of the guys bring a lot of attention on themselves, and there's a right way and a wrong way. But yeah, anybody offers you money to do something, that's a red flag and a half. I mean, that's just no.
Well, this is what I thought was. Now we're in court, Your Honor. We cased our guns, and there is no confusion. Mr. Coates took our, like it was black and white to me. Like, they were done, cased, and like, hey, man, how much to shoot your limit now?
Right.
Like, no, man, we're good.
Yeah. And, that's, you get a young guy there, and like, that might be tough for a lot of people. Just anybody that doesn't know how to say no. Because, as a guide, there's times where you just got to draw a hard line in the sand, like, no, we're not doing it that way.
Well, I always tell people this too. Like, people are fun hunting with their buddies and all. It's not a blind limit or a boat limit. It still is, even though you're doing it for fun. It really still is a personal limit. It's not. Right. Hey, there's 5 of us and we're going to shoot 25 geese. It's not. Obviously you're not going to get in trouble for that, right? But it's the same difference. It is still a personal. It's a personal limit.
I know some guys that got busted in Canada. They were on a big sting operation up there, and there was some big money guys, and the guy called home and told his dad. He said, hey, the feds just came in here and they're arresting some people. He goes, where are you at? He said, well, they told us they'd be in contact with us. He said, you get in that fucking airplane and you get your ass home, because he was in their King Air, family King Air. Mm-hmm. He said, you get that plane back to the United States, because in court I can get that plane. But you're in Canada, I don't know what the hell. I don't want to lose our airplane over this shit.
Right.
Anyways, he got in an airplane and flew his ass back home, and then he had to go back to Canada and sit and face trial.
But at least the King Air
got his fucking his dad wanted that King Air back in Texas. He said, you get that shit at least in North Dakota.
It's kind of a sad state, right? You would be better off to shoot a person than to shoot the wrong animal, right? And again, I'm not I don't think we should just go Karen's sitting there watching, but go kill whatever there is to kill. But you have a license, you do what you do and you're done. But I mean, you shoot the wrong animal, man, that's worse than like killing somebody, right? How many anyway, I'll go off on a tangent, but there's a couple cases here close of, like, man, people ran somebody over. They didn't serve any time or whatever, flat out killed somebody. Yeah. Didn't serve any time at all, man. Again, shoot the wrong animal.
You shoot a sandhill crane, or not, you shoot a whooping crane in Florida, and you're going to go to prison for a long time. A guy just killed a guy in Florida the other day, and he got 3 years in prison because he was a black guy, and he said that he was a BLM activist, where he was mad at white people because the way they'd been doing people, so he shot a white guy, and they let him off at under 3 years going to prison for murder. But if you shoot a bald eagle or you shoot a whooping crane in fucking Florida, I bet you spend more than 3 years in prison.
You got time?
Yeah.
Talk about stupid videos. Did you guys see the one of, I believe it's in Las Vegas?
Yeah, where that kid, those kids
ran over that guy.
They run the, yep. I'm like, holy moly, man. Like, what? Like, Anyway, in so many ways that's wrong. But like, why would you video that and then post it?
The moral decay of our country. That's what I was talking about earlier. Just in my 55 years here, it disappoints me where we're at, and I'm sure we had shit happen that people didn't video. People they don't have any respect for life nowadays, and it's just so sad, and it's getting worse and worse. What's scary is these kids that are 20 years old and 25 right now, they probably don't even pay attention to that video much, and it doesn't resonate in them how stupid and wrong that is. What's scary is when they become my age, what are they going to be accepted? I tell you what, if you're 20 years old today and that video doesn't bother you, which I'm going to say it doesn't to a lot of 20-year-olds, could you imagine what it's going to take to bother them if they think that's wrong?
I would think nothing's going to make them.
I mean, what would...
That's just straight up cold, man. Like, guys on his bicycle, he just go run him over.
Yeah, and I mean, that guy probably did that every single day. Probably didn't even think to tell his family. There's no way he left the house that day and his wife thought, well, this is going to be the last time I see him.
Because some kids are going to think it's funny just to kill him.
Yeah.
But
hey, there he is, run him over.
If they put them fucking kids to sleep, that'd be the end of that shit. There'd be a lot less of that shit going on. We don't do enough to the bad people. I mean,
Karen agrees.
It's true. We need prisons to be prisons. We don't need prisons to be country clubs. We need you to be miserable in prison where you don't do the shit again. Add a degree of some shit going on. There's people in prison that didn't do nothing that bad, But there are people out there that have done rape, murder, and shit like that. They need to put them to sleep. I don't understand life sentences. Why should we pay for a guy to sit in prison for the rest of his life? Just kill him.
Yeah, I mean that'd be the easiest way. I saw an interesting video the other day, and it was talking about how we are producing the most dangerous type of person that you can create is a lonely, late teenager to early 20-year-old male. Males that don't feel like they have any purpose, don't feel like they will ever find a significant other because they kind of get this nihilistic mentality to where they just say, fuck it, and they tip the board over and say, we're playing the game by my rules. It was... So let me see here if I can find the video and sum it up. So, online dating is kind of the way of the world. And he was doing the math. If you swipe right on somebody, you have to basically swipe right, I think it's 1,000 times to find a date. And then of that, you're going to get stood up most of the time. But we're just we've taken wood shop out of the class. We've taken ag shops out of schools. And like so many kids and so many young boys don't feel like they have any they don't have any passion. They don't have anything to really look forward to in life. Finding a mate is incredibly difficult. And they're just like, if we continue this trajectory, there's going to be a lot of scary young men in the future just because they don't have a purpose. Schools have failed them. Family life is non-existent at home. If you look at single motherhood, and it's just, we've done our boys a very, very big disservice. And they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous individuals potentially if things don't change.
I've not heard or read that, but I mean, that sounds reasonable. Well, it doesn't sound reasonable, but it's your analogy.
The best reward in the life of dating was having sex. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to try to go through that step and process. I mean, Jesus, that's the ultimate deal right there.
Are you on TikTok, Jeff? I'll send it to you.
I am, thank you. Yeah, but that's not my number one place to be. But yes, I definitely. Hunting's not really.
Yeah, it's tough.
Doesn't go over well on TikTok. I get red message, or during duck season, I'll get red messages and be in somebody's bad standing and all that kind of thing. But yes, I do definitely have an account.
I'll send you this video. It breaks it down a little bit more than what I could do. But it's I don't know, it's an interesting video. But anyway, all right, my man, we're gonna start wrapping up here. What all you got going on? I know you're getting ready to get started hunting season like we are, but it's not too much longer.
We are less than a week away. I've got a tremendous amount of stuff still to do, but I think I work best under pressure. So I procrastinate just to make myself feel better at the end. Can I mention Dirty Duck Coffee?
Yeah. I saw you got your own brew or your own roast coming out.
We do. It's going over well so far. Karen and I thought way too much about it. Buck and Jay said, man, make sure whatever it is like that you guys like it. So we kind of like something we like, but the masses like it. That kind of thing. Just like, bourbon. We like bourbon. Maybe bourbon's not for everybody. So we picked out a roast and a bean it's definitely coffee. Had a pot of it this morning. We like it, and it seems to be going over very well. So we're excited about that. But yeah, just kind of moving forward. Go. Look forward to kind of. It seems like for maybe like the last 365 days, I've been nonstop with what's behind me, and I won't say making any money, but maybe recouping a little bit of cash, and hopefully have a good duck season, and hopefully the wind doesn't blow too hard, and get to February, and maybe I'll take a week off and sleep, and then get back to it again.
Have you got your Wi-Fi sorted out yet? I've been seeing that you have to go down to the.
Man, it's right out there in the ground, and they're telling us like it's fiber optic. Yeah. We've never had that before, and there is a cable company would service us, but even though we're in their area, because of, like my mother would say, we're in the boondocks, like we can't get that service. Right. So I run up to the park, load my YouTube or whatever I need to load up on that talkie fiber, which is like super fast. And the fellow told me, he's like, the only thing that's going to slow it down here is if I can't remember what the device is that brings it in the house. If that gets dusty, he said that'll slow it down. We'll come clean it for you, and you're good to go. So as soon as we get that, we will feel like, I don't know what we'll feel like. We'll feel relieved that we actually have internet. How about that?
Yeah, that's another thing we take for granted.
100%. Like that's Karen would say, it's like, man, we had internet, now we don't have it. It's like what are we doing? Like we're deprived of something we just took for granted.
Third world country we're living in all of a sudden.
Thank God for
we're in the boondocks.
Thank God for Starlink. That's what makes it possible for us.
Yeah, that's what we have out here. Always a pleasure.
We just saw them the other night shoot them off here.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool sight.
They said they're available all over North America now, or all over the United States, I should say.
It works good here. I mean, our speed's incredible. Well, Jeff, my friend, I appreciate you being on here. I love your stuff on IG, all your social stuff. Take care of yourself. Have a very good and safe hunting season. So tell Jay and Buck I said hello to them. Well, I guess I'll see Jay and Buck before you do, probably, because I think they're coming here first weekend in November.
I heard that. I did hear that.
Yep.
Perfect. I sent you that video on TikTok.
Jeff, Andy, pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Much.
God bless you, my friend.
Appreciate you guys.
See ya.
Pit Boss Jeff Coates, interesting guy. Very cool dude.
Here's that video. Play it for our audience. See how badly I butchered up the synopsis. That's the thing I hate. Like I have the gist of something, and then I try to like recall it, and just ain't there.
What is this video of?
The video that I was explaining. I was going to see how far off I was in my recollection of it.
I'm gonna watch the video today of the magpies chasing them kids.
Can you believe that?
I'm telling you, Australia, they're tough people there.
Gotta be. Oh.
I guess they just stuck. There was Aborigines there, and then they just took people that were prisoners and just dropped them off and let them go.
Who?
The English.
There had to be some sort of like, wouldn't you figure there'd be like some sort of like prison system there?
I have no idea. I don't know the history of Australia.
I guess that's not going to work.
Yes, your sound's off again. You're in hell with this thing.
Well, like whenever we do a guest, that's the primary channel, and then I try to set it up via this, and it eats my freaking lunch all the time.
All right, well,
anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I got a ton of stuff to get done today.
Boy, you and me both. I am fucking slammed. I've been slammed for 3 fucking weeks, it feels like.
Well, we got 2 more busy weeks, then vacation.
What do you mean?
Well, we got 2 weeks in a row. We're going to be filming and traveling, and then I get to go on vacation.
I know, but it just, your vacation really fucks with my work schedule.
How about when you're on vacation, it doesn't mind? Why is your vacation always not a problem, but mine is?
No, my vacations are a big pain in the ass.
Okay.
Anytime I go out of town, it is not a fun lead up. And then it's like double time when we get back. So it's like to go, blah, 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 blah.
Well, we're going to have it just about covered where when I'm gone, you don't have to do nothing that week. So there you go. You can have
I'll still have shit to edit. That's the thing. My job never stops.
Okay.
Ever.
Right. Well, he who doesn't have an assistant doing anything else.
That's what's funny out here.
I don't have an assistant.
No, exactly. Who's got an assistant out here?
Tony does.
Tony's got a fucking assistant.
Yes.
Of all the people out here that need an assistant, Tony's the one that has one.
Yes, that's right. You're right. I agree.
How the fuck did that happen?
Because nobody can do what me and you do.
Well, I'm sure a monkey can figure this shit out.
Well, if something happens to me, you're going to take over my job.
Well,
so you get to figure out who gets to take your job.
Fuck
but yes, we don't. Neither one of us have an assistant. Everybody else around here's got someone to help them do their stuff.
Mom's got somebody in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand what has happened here.
But it's true though.
I really don't. I was busting my ass. I've been getting up at 3:45 every single morning to get my shit done. And I'm like, and then I go to bed at fucking 10:30. I'm like, how the fuck do I not have anybody helping me? How the fuck did this happen?
You're going to have to show somebody how to do all that stuff.
Oh, that would be,
See, that's what the problem is. That's the same with me and all my stuff.
Oh my God, that'd be
But anyways,
terrible.
I got to get your stuff done so I can get home. I mean, so I can get all our shit done so we can get.
It'd be way more work teaching somebody how to do this. First world problems.
Yep. All right. God
Nobody
bless.
cares. Work harder, motherfucker.
I guess this will be next week comes out, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, hope y'all have a wonderful week. God bless y'all. Be safe.
Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Dirty Duck Coffee. Go get this new roast from Pitboss. Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, MLR Graphics, Shin Gear, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Ducks Unlimited, Double T British Kennels, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, and Hemp Hill Farm.